Welcome back to another video. I sat down and all I could think about was some sort of caterpillar with a skull face. And then I thought about how that would kind of evolve into something else, and I wanted it to be a little bit weird, I guess. I don't know. I was just in the mood for that. I ended up following this really cool account on Instagram. It's a Japanese account. I've been trying to read more Japanese when I can, so I'm just making it easier to find those things. Anyway, it was about bugs, and I really like bugs. I think they're cool, so I guess it just ended up on my mind, and I was reading a random comic. I hadn't read it in a really long time, but I really like the premise of it. And anyway, there had been this cool demon. I'm pretty sure it's Korean. But anyway, I liked the demon design in it, and it had nothing to do with bugs. But something about the nose of the creature really reminded me of a bat, and so I really thought about doing something bat-like, which, spoiler alert, I don't, but I did consider it. So, yeah, I'm just doing weird bug creatures in this video, I know, but I guess that's what I was in the mood for, so if you're not into bugs, I will understand if you turn off the video and say no thank you to this one. But I had fun. So if you're curious about what I made, which is, it's gonna be the thumbnail anyways, but if you're curious about what I made up close, then I guess you can continue watching the video. I don't have loads to update anybody on, to be honest. I've been trying to get a comic page finished in time, but I'm struggling, and then I also had to make this video, and it was the week that my sister came with her kids, and a week I had to work. I was only supposed to work one day, doing some like manual labor stuff, but I ended up working 2. And the first day there was this spot with like a bunch of powder on the ground where my sister had run the mower. And it got completely covered. I didn't see it. And I was looking at the ground. I'm really careful because the ground's a bit uneven and they keep getting like gophers and stuff. Anyway, I turned my ankle in it to the point that I actually felt my ankle touch the ground. And it's on the same foot that I've had a couple surgeries on. And at the time, I didn't think it was that bad. It hurt a little. I had to shake my foot out a bit. But I got back to work and still worked quite a few hours after that. And even the next day when we had to go back, the reason we had to go back is because my weed whacker broke. Yeah, that was really annoying too. I know they have cameras out there. I'm like, I hope they didn't have the sound on because I was cussing up a storm. But anyway, yeah, it was fine. We went back and were able to finish it. We had to bring one of our weed whackers from home and we got it done. Anyway, that day it started feeling a little bit sore. And then the day after that was really sore. I was definitely limping on it, unfortunately. So, yeah, I didn't have a lot of time. I ended up watching the dogs anyway on the day that my ankle was super hurting. And my brother had a birthday just the day before that. And yeah, so it was a week that I didn't have a lot of time to do any of my project kind of work, so I was really rushing yesterday trying to get some comic stuff done while I had the chance, and no matter how hard I'm working on it, it just doesn't feel like I'm getting very far, which I think is just because I'm a little stressed about it. And I had an appointment I'd been putting off making, and I needed to get this is all such mundane stuff, but I needed to get my mouth guard mold sent back in, but I hadn't done it because there for a while with my cold, I couldn't breathe properly, so yeah, I didn't want to stick that in my mouth and then not be able to breathe out of my nose. So, which I think I mentioned, but I finally did that last night and got it ready to send it back, which is such a pain. I hope it doesn't cause any problems because I got that in March 30th, and I just did it yesterday on May 3rd, so yeah, hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. I don't think so, but hopefully it doesn't cause any problems. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't have too much to do on that comic page, to be real. It's just the stuff that takes me some of the longer, more tedious time, like painting all of the little character details and stuff like that, and then I have to put the light and shade on, and the dialogue, and change around the, oh my gosh, my brain, the little panel edges, the gutters, yeah, the borders, there it is. We'll get there eventually. Obviously, I'm just really tired, but it's fine. It's also cloudy, so that does not help. I don't know where this guy came from and why he ended up with a weird mouth tail, but it's fine. I had fun with him anyway. I gave him an emo leaf. So, actually, I had been feeling like drawing quite a bit after I finished that sketchbook. I was super glad. If nobody watched the video last week, if nobody did, if you specifically did not watch it, I do have a little sketchbook tour up. So, yeah, it's got some really old stuff from like 2014 in it, but not very much. The rest of it's mainly 2024, 2023 Inktober. It's one of those. It's one of the Inktovers that I had done. So, yeah, and I just very recently finished it. I had, I can't remember. I think it was like 8 or 9 pages or something like that left, and I finished it off. So, if you want to see that, feel free. When it comes to this guy, I should have darkened his arm a bit because it gets lost later on when I'm adding in some of the tones, which I knew that it did, but I'm gonna be real, I just kept looking at it thinking, it's a sketch anyway, there's probably like 16 other things I could fix, and I'm not going to do that right now, so I didn't really. Although whenever I was about to save the picture so I could do just a really quick thumbnail so people could see what was going to be in the video, if they were interested or not, I did darken it slightly, but meh, doesn't matter. It's not that big a deal. I kind of like the eye that I ended up giving him. I wanted it to be shaped like a leaf or like a knot in a tree or something like that. Then I gave him weird starfish feet. I have not drawn a starfish in so long. I actually really, really like them. They're really cool to see in the aquarium. I watched this documentary that was talking about permafrost. This was a really long time ago. But they were actually showing the little starfish trying to get away from where some of the permafrost stuff was coming down into the water. So that was really, really cool. I think about that a lot, just an insane amount, because it was really interesting to me to see them moving. So I wanted to make something that looked like it was going to be able to hide and look like a beetle if something came up to it. So that's why I drew this one. I kind of had a ladybug in mind, and then at the same time I started thinking about something that was a bit more oblong. So it did end up being longer than I wanted it to originally. It's fine as it is. I mean, it looks like any other generic beetle, so from the back. I do draw the back view, just small beside it. My brother came in and called it his bug waifu, so I guess there's that. I had to adjust this a lot because I do mess up my symmetry. Not that I'm trying to get perfectly symmetrical or anything, but I mess up little bits of the face, definitely on the right side a lot. So I notice it as I'm making stuff and try to adjust as much as I can. I know it's annoying because I'm sure some people can see it easier than I can, but we do what we can. But yeah, this was weirdly fun to do. I hadn't sat down and done anything like this in a little while. It would have been fun if it had been in one of my sketchbooks, but like I said, it's been cloudy. So there would have been no way. Uh-oh, if you hear our dog, he's throwing a little fit. He's been horrible. He throws tantrums like a toddler. I mean, Tucker's kind of bad. He's a corgi. He can sometimes throw a fit, usually like a huff and a puff and some barking. They're kind of loud dogs. But man, Finn, I think he's a mini fox terrier. He is horrible. He sounds like an angry goose. And he's just been throwing a huge fit every single time someone comes inside. You'll be playing with him forever and then go inside. He doesn't want to come inside, so you go inside and he just starts acting like an absolute fool. So if you hear that, I'm sure my sister is trying to get something done and he's out there being a fool. This is the last one, by the way. I wasn't sure where I was going with this to begin with. I was just scribbling and seeing what came out of it. But I think it turned out okay. For the most part, I was just playing with shapes and parts. Oh my gosh, that tiny dog. You probably will be able to hear him because sometimes he gets really, really loud. I promise you he's not hurt. He's just throwing a fit. But yeah, and then I just wanted to give it this cool tail, and the whole time I was making it, I kept thinking about that latest Riddick movie. I think they're making another one, so not the one that is not yet made, but yeah, the ones with the cool things in the water where he gets the cool dog. I really, really like Riddick, so I've watched those movies so many times. I was really surprised when they came out with that new one. Because obviously it'd been forever, but love it. Yeah, it started to look a little bit flat to me, and I didn't like that. So I started just going through and trying to find some ways to add some measure of depth to it, and it's not that great. And I did add some like a color. I'd been using orange every now and again, so I just introduced some orange into it, some accents. I'm doing that now because it was looking so uninteresting, or maybe that was just me, but looked pretty uninteresting. Almost finished. So much fun. It's really fun to think of like where they would live and what they would do and what they kind of evolve from. So, but anyway, that is the finished picture. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hey, let me know which one is your favorite. Have a good day or night, and bye.